and the pounding and the rest. And I grew up with the pounding, and as I said, if it stopped, you wondered what was wrong. But I want to thank everybody for coming. For Doug and I particularly, it's very rewarding to see that a dream that we had actually coming to fruition, and to see that people are appreciating it, and that they can continue for a long time to appreciate the tree that's going to be there as a memorial to their family. So I want to thank you very much. Originally I was going to ask Doug to say something, but he declined, did he not? Or if he does it, he can say something now.
I'll do a wee something.
Just can't keep Doug quiet.
No, just because I thought of it as I'm studying. I haven't thought of this little story for years. But Jim Lee was a good friend of my dad's, Bickerton. And one of Dad's favorite stories involved a kind of a cute little incident that happened at the restaurant. And I don't know if the family even really remembers this. And I'm pretty sure I've got the right restaurant. But apparently, Jim and Lena heard, they lived upstairs, of course, over the restaurant. And they heard one night something rustling down in the restaurant part. So Jim went downstairs to see what was going on, and there's a guy trying to get into the cash register. Well, he said, "Is there anything I can help you with?" And the guy was absolutely startled. He said, I'm hungry. And he said, "Can you get me anything to eat?" Well, it's a strange place to look for something to eat in the cash register. Jim very wisely said, I think we could do something like that, and he called up in Chinese to upstairs. He's standing at the bottom of the stairs at this point. And pretty soon Lena comes down with some pie and a cup of coffee, and I guess it was a glass of milk. Anyway, she came down with some food. And they sat this fella down. Not very long, a knock came to the door. Oh, Jim says there's somebody else wants to get in too. So he went to the door, he opened it up, and the police walked in. Lena had called the police. So they took this guy off, well fed, to the local jail. And I always thought that was pretty good. The Arboretum is an unusual thing in a town of this size. And I remember how it started. Peter and I were standing right over there on the sidewalk watching the last of the steel company plant come in. And word was out that they were going, of course it's a brownfield. This is all what's called a brownfield, which means there are contaminants under the soil deep, and it's old oil, what it is. So it can't be used for anything like digging holes and putting basements. So what can be used for is fill it over with fill, which they did as part of the gifting it to the town. And then the word was out that it was going to become known as, or it was going to become a park, and we needed a name. So the name was settled upon as Steelworkers Park. But Steelworkers is two different words, because if you have it one word, it's a trademark of the Steelworkers Union of Canada, and of course we didn't want to stomp on anybody's toes. We also didn't want to leave anybody out, because there's a lot of people who work with steel, not part of Stelco, not part of the Steel Company of Canada, not part of the Steelworkers Union. So we put steel and workers in two different words. And that includes all the rivet people, all the non-union people who worked for the business of making steel things, from shovels to rivets to connecting rods right here. So that's how this kind of got started. Peter and I were standing over there, and we thought, well, maybe we could put an arboretum in there. And we applied to the council and were designated to the end of the park there, down by the bridge. And hopefully it will become a full arboretum. We currently have about 25 trees in there. This area of our province is blessed with 76 native trees. Now, we will not be planting anything in the elm family or the ash family for obvious reasons. They'll only die. But there's a lot of yet put in that are native trees, and quite a few that have acclimatized themselves to this area very well. The honey locust would be a really good example of that. So that's what we're doing. Thank you.
I think we've had it. That's the end of our little dedication. Wasn't the intent to have a lot of political, high-level political speeches or anything. And so, again, thank you very much for coming. The trees that have been dedicated have an orange ribbon on them, if you'd like to walk around the park and look. There are 6 of them. Most of them are at that end. And the ceremony is over, and thank you ever so much. May I